Welcome to Meaningful Mornings.
Now Shankar.
Some days ago, I had shared with all of you about a conversation I had with some youth in London. And they were asking me about the trajectory of their life. And I had shared to grow from being a participator to a facilitator to an initiator. And I specifically asked all of you what virtue pushes you forward, lifts you up. To grow from a participator to a facilitator, the virtue is independence. To be less dependent or concerned about people liking you or disliking you, that you feel this is your responsibility, your service, and so you facilitate accordingly. And to grow from a facilitator to an initiator, where you are the one who is encouraging others to participate, to facilitate, that virtue is love. To be more loving. This love is not restricted to an individual or to a family, but rather is not restricted, is offered to all. You're caring for an entire generation and beyond. That's why you're initiating whatever you are. Let me be more specific about this. I was interacting with one of you recently, and you were sharing how back in the day, those living in Bharat or India, they grew crops that were drought resistant because the monsoons were unpredictable. With the Industrial Revolution, what came? More fertilizers. What comes with that? More pesticides. What comes with that? More harm, long-term harm to our nervous system, to our mental health. If we are only now coming to appreciate the long-term harm of pesticides, offering love is long-term help. This may not be appreciated today or tomorrow, but you are helping generations. Meaningful Mornings is training in being an initiator, one who loves more. You may not have heard Shuka, but he was looking at the Instagram camera and he goes, "Is this magic?" In my mind, I was like, no, this is Maya, but what we are doing together is magical. The theme of chapter 7 is internalization. The theme of chapter 8 is intensification. And the theme of chapter 9 is integration. The theme of chapter 10, pervading. Chapter 11, presence. In chapter 12, devotion. These are the 6 chapters that focus on bhakti, and this is naturally culminating with chapter 12, which specifically relates to bhakti. The English word for bhakti is devotion. The more practical sense of devotion is dedication. In dedication, you are changing your sense of I. If I am dedicated to my family, my I is no longer this individual, but it's my family. Dedication changes your sense of I. And what's lovely about this is that you're giving up the smaller I by holding on to the bigger I. With the trajectory being, hold on to the biggest I, which is Brahman or infinity. As you dedicate yourself to a bigger I, dedication can be known where you don't know what you're giving up. You don't calculate it. You don't announce it. If you're calculating and announcing what you're sacrificing, renouncing, and so on, that's not dedication. That is just the ego being moved from here to there. And in Sanskrit, the word for holding on to is Shraddha. When you hold on, you have faith in this. You don't need to hold yourself back by holding this or that which is smaller. This has been beautifully encapsulated at the end of chapter 11, verse 55, where Sri Krishna shares with Prince Arjuna two yamas, two don'ts, two ways of living that have to be let go of, that we have to let go of. My grammar has never been good, and raising young children, it's becoming worse. Who knows what's going to happen to me in 25 years? The first yama is no dependency. And the second yama is no likes. Our personalities don't operate on no's or don'ts. The three niyamas, these are do's, affirmatives. They are to love what you do, to love who you will be, and to love love. Reflect lots on that. Does anyone love Bhagwan for the sake of Bhagwan? We all love Bhagwan because we need something. We want something. That's not loving. Think about dharma. If you can't relate to Bhagwan, relate to dharma. Why should you do what is right? Because it's right. What other reason do you need? All of this transitions into chapter 12. Prince Arjuna is expressing that he wants to know more details of this chapter 11, verse 55. How does that look? Guide me more. I'm rechanting verse 1, and I'm implementing a new culture policy in Meaningful Mornings. Right before I begin to chant any verse, I want you to write in Zoom, in Facebook, in Instagram, joy. You may not be able to connect to the Sanskrit. You may not be able to chant the Sanskrit, but joy you can. Okay? As I'm chanting, you type joy. Everyone, Zoom, Facebook, Instagram. Shri Paramatmane Namaha Atha Dvadashodhyayaha Arjuna Uvacha Evam Satata Yuktaye Bhaktastvam Paryupasate Ye Chapyaksharam Avyaktam Tesham Ke Yoga Vittamaha. Prince Arjuna starts with the word evam, which means thus. He's pulling chapter 11. What you've just stated. Ye, the one, satata yukta, who's perpetually communing with you. This is called bhakti. They are bhaktas. Tvam paryupasate, and they are engaged in upasana, but the more strong word is pariupasana. Elaborating on this. I've shared with all of you, upasana means to sit beside, sit near. And the purpose for this is to see what your guide sees, what your map sees. Like right now, you can see me, but you can't see what I can see. When Shuka was sitting near me, he can see what I can see, correct? That's what upasana is. But pari upasana, pari means complete, comprehensive. It is not just about seeing, it is about being. If Shuka sat even closer to me, in this micro example, he can feel my heartbeat then, correct? He's being more like me. So Prince Arjuna is giving one reference about those who live, chapter 11, verse 55. And now a comparison comes in. Yea, what about those aksharam avyaktam? Akshara means indestructible, avyakta means unmanifest. Tesham ke yoga vittamaha. Those who pariyupasate, those who are trying to be you with a name and form, and those who are trying to be you without a name and form, which is superior? Which path is the best? I hope you're catching. The first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita focus on Tvam, that is Prince Arjuna. The next 6 chapters focus on Tat, that is Sri Krishna. Prince Arjuna's questions aren't about himself anymore. They're about Sri Krishna, correct? With form, without form. And he's asking this question because he cares. When you ask someone, how are you? Do you really care how they are? When you say good, how are you? Do they really care how you are? But in Prince Arjuna's case, he's asking because he cares. And now, Shri Krishna responds. Verse 2. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Veshamano Ye Mam Nitya Yukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayo Petaha Te Me Yukta Tamamataha. I appreciate all of you writing joy. More is needed inside and outside. And all of you also so cool that you're doing so on Instagram, Facebook. Shri Krishna says, Mai, which means on me or to me, Avesha Manaha, the one whose mind is directed to me. And he continues, Mam Nitya Yukta Upasate, and the one who's constantly and comprehensively sitting near me. Okay. Keywords, Manaha, Upasana. The distinction between these two words, why are they shared in this way? What do you do with your mind? You think. I hope you think. Upasana implies you're not just thinking, but you are following. Your thoughts are being matched with your actions. Yes, coming back to Shuka, he had to move over here. That's an action, right? Next line, Shraddhaya, with faith. Pariyupetaha, filled with faith. It's not casual. It's not based on time, space, and matter. They are filled with faith. With such faith, they're thinking and acting for Sri Krishna, to be Sri Krishna. In Acharya Shankara's teachings, he shares that one's thoughts, one's actions, are like oil that's being poured. At night, before some of my classes, I boil water and then pour this into a cup with a tea bag. And as I'm pouring this, the water keeps getting broken from this pot to the cup. But for anyone who's poured oil before, there's never a gap, correct? The viscosity makes it constant, comprehensive. Yes? And that's why words like avesha means directed, nitya, yukta. These are all words to describe communing, a oneness. Te me yukta tamamataha. Shri Krishna is answering the question, it doesn't matter whether you love me with a name and form or without a name and form. What matters is the love. Is it comprehensive? Shraddha, this is my last reflection for all of you. Shraddha in Sri Krishna obviously is imperative. One also has to have Shraddha in the means to Sri Krishna. Suppose I have cancer, and I have faith that cancer can be cured, but I don't have faith in the medicine or the treatment that is going to cure that cancer, then am I going to be cured? This faith in love, this faith in bhakti is what Sri Krishna is sharing in such a simple and reflective way. So reflect on this. From inspiration to application. Your application was to think, to reflect on the virtue that will help you become a facilitator and initiator. It is independence and love. Here is your application for this morning. I want you to try to connect the dots to see the alignment of how Sri Krishna is teaching you, guiding you. I'll give you one that I have come to understand and appreciate more. In Vedanta and Bhagavata, I had summarized a chapter where Rishi Uddhava asks, what is the best yoga? And the answer is Bhakti Yoga. Now in Meaningful Mornings, what chapter are we on? Bhakti Yoga. In Seeking Culture and Parenting Culture, what was the value we studied yesterday? Bhakti. How is it possible that 3 courses have aligned like this? It's magic. You see it also. That is your application. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be safe, be sound, be serene. And as you've been writing, be joy.